Have you ever stopped to think that the gimbal might be running out of time? This is not just a guess, it's a fact. After DJI released the Neo 2, the Avata 360, and the Leto, I noticed that these drones all have one thing in common. They all have two omnidirectional lenses, one on top and one on the bottom, providing 360-degree vision. Of course, on the Neo 2 and the Leto, these sensors are simpler. They only generate images for the obstacle avoidance system. But on the Avata 360, these sensors are 1 inch in size, and they create an 8K image in 360 degrees, which serves both for image capture and for the obstacle avoidance system, and all of this without the need for a complex 3-axis gimbal. So in this video, I'm going to show you why this trend could be the beginning of the end of the gimbal in everyday drones. The gimbal is a mechanical stabilization system, usually with 2 or 3 axes. It works by compensating for the sudden movements of the drone, keeping the camera stable and level, even in windy conditions or during fast maneuvers. But here's an interesting fact. The gimbal was not invented for drones. Long before, it was already being used on ships, helicopters, and in the film industry. In other words, it was adapted for drones, and ended up becoming an essential piece of equipment. When drones started to become popular, the camera was fixed to the body of the drone. Even so, the ability to capture aerial images was something revolutionary at the time, but the quality was very poor, because the vibration and movement of the drone severely affected the stability and framing of the shot. But with the arrival of the gimbal, everything changed. In addition to keeping the image perfectly stable, it also allowed the pilot to move the camera up and down, independently of the drone's tilt angle. Over time, the gimbal kept evolving. It became more compact and efficient, integrating itself into the drone and camera, until it stopped being just an accessory and became part of the equipment itself. And DJI was a pioneer in this technology, starting with the Zenmuse, then came the Phantom, Mavic, Inspire, and so many other models that popularized aerial image capture around the world. But it wasn't just the gimbal that evolved. In parallel, another revolution was happening, the revolution of camera sensors. Technological advances made it possible to manufacture sensors that were increasingly larger and higher in resolution, and this opened up the possibility of creating electronic stabilization systems. The camera captures a larger image area than necessary, and that extra area works as a buffer zone, which is discarded by the processor to generate stabilization of the central part of the image. Electronic stabilization, also known as EIS, is gradually eliminating the need for motors and mechanical parts, and with the evolution of artificial intelligence, this technology took a giant leap forward. The gimbal was a revolutionary accessory, but it is a necessary evil, because it is a heavy device, consumes a lot of energy, and is fragile. Eliminating it will bring many advantages, making drones lighter, more efficient, and more durable. This revolution has already been happening quietly for a long time. It started in 2021 with the launch of the DJI FPV, and it continues today with the Avata and Neo. They eliminated 2 motors and the other moving parts of the gimbal, keeping only the tilt motor. All other movements and vibrations are stabilized electronically through a rock-steady system, developed by DJI itself. This is not exclusive to drones. Action cameras and smartphones also have electronic stabilization systems, and they shoot with impressive smoothness without needing anything mechanical. But the biggest revolution is just beginning with 360-degree spherical cameras. In recent years they have evolved a lot, and beyond stabilization, they are also electronically correcting those distortions at the edges of the image, and they even allow framing in any direction. It's as if we had several high-resolution cameras pointing in every direction at the same time. This revolutionary technology is not exclusive to DJI. Insta360 has also noticed this trend, and fully applied this concept to the anti-gravity A1, which was the first drone with a 360-degree camera and no gimbal. In fact, it is the purest example of this new technology. Its lenses are fixed in a module at the front of the drone, which is only a damping system to eliminate some of the vibration, but it has no motor or any mechanical device similar to a gimbal. Therefore, image stabilization is done entirely electronically. After the launch of the anti-gravity, I thought DJI would fight back the easy way, using technologies that were already available. All they had to do was take the Mini 4 Pro platform, remove the gimbal and camera, adapt an Osmo 360, and there you have it, the Mini 360 was born. Which, by the way, would have been a much more suitable drone to compete with the anti-gravity A1. Both would have the same characteristics. They would be foldable drones weighing under 250 grams, and DJI could sell the Mini 360 for half the price of the anti-gravity. But DJI's 360 drone was already in its final stages of testing, and even before the anti-gravity launched, DJI had already leaked some images of the Avata 360, which surprised the market by revealing its hybrid camera. In other words, it would be a 360 drone, but it could also transform into a purely FPV drone by rotating the camera. This feature uses a motor whose main purpose is to enable movement on one axis, but it is also used to help with stabilization. Therefore, the Avata 360 belongs to an intermediate generation of drones, like the Avata 1 and 2 and the Neo 1, which have not yet completely eliminated the gimbal, but have already replaced two axes with electronic stabilization. Replacing the gimbal with 360-degree lenses is an inevitable trend, because it will make drones lighter and give them greater flight autonomy. They will be more durable, and will be able to capture images in every direction. Furthermore, these images can also be used simultaneously by the obstacle avoidance system, eliminating the need for multiple sensors that also consume energy and add weight. This evolution could also lead to a reduction in drone prices, and we are already seeing this in recent launches. One example is the Leto X1, which was launched at a price 30% lower than the Mini 4 Pro. With all these advantages, I believe DJI may no longer see much reason to continue launching new consumer drones with traditional gimbals, except for models designed for very specific applications. This includes professional and cinematic drones that require optical zoom cameras and high-end sensors, such as the Air 3S, the Mavic, and the Inspire. The same applies to enterprise and security drones that need thermal imaging cameras or powerful zoom capabilities. But for general-purpose drones, I believe the Mini 5 and the Leto could be the last models with mechanical 3-axis gimbal stabilization. However, the big turning point will happen when DJI launches an entry-level 360 drone, because this technology will become more accessible and will gain the admiration of the public, gradually replacing drones with gimbals. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.